Yeah, yeah.
It's wild how much is going on. Well, yeah, I just really want to kind of delve into your world and where we are right now and what's kind of motivated you and heroes. So if that's cool with you, just you let me know when you're
Let's
ready to
rock.
go. Yeah,
I'm ready to
cool.
go. Let's do
Right.
it.
Hey, it's great to meet you. Thank you, sir, for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem.
So before we get into your work as a CEO and entrepreneur, I want to know 4 years ago we were looking at this pandemic and trying to figure out how are we going to get out of it, lasting ramifications. How did you make it through that time period, and how has it changed the way that you do things now?
Okay. I, I can honestly say the pandemic kind of worked in our favor because at Kidmoto we were growing very fast, and I did so tremendous amount of planning, but sometimes you just don't know in business. And with the pandemic, we just went from I kind of like hero to zero, right? It was like, um, but and it was super hard to us to keep going forward, but we made it, and I don't know how we made it, but we did, and but we retooled. So it helped us because we retooled. When you have less operations, you can focus your energy on strategy and planning, and that's what we did. And it made us better, helped us. Of course, we lost. We were growing very fast. We lost a lot of projected income, right, revenue, and but we retooled. And in business, you have to be able to be very swift, and you have to make decisions quickly, and you have to be agile and figure out, how do we make the next, what's the next best move, right? And pandemic helped us a lot, and uh, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Man, I can imagine 4 years ago. It feels like yesterday.
It's weird, man. It is. It's all melted together. So let's get a complete handle on what you do right now in 2024.
Got
I'm
it.
going to put you in front of a bunch of grade schoolers, third graders. It's career day.
Yes,
And one of the
yes.
kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer them?
I'm the CEO of an organization called Kidmoto, and our mobile app connects passengers that are traveling with young children to and from airports to drivers that provide installed child car seats, and therefore parents don't have to travel with child car seats because child car seats makes traveling and life cumbersome and hard.
Wow. That's genius. How did you come up with that idea?
Shot in the dark. I saw a need in the market,
Yeah.
and Uber wasn't doing it at the time. I don't remember. And uh, I drove a yellow cab. Again, caveat, that was like my favorite job ever,
Yeah.
right? And uh, cab, yellow cabs and taxis are not providing, car service is not provided the car seats. And I said, why is no one doing the car seats? And I figured out that hey, it's super hard, right? So well, I could make it happen. And shot in the dark, one of the most craziest, insane ideas you can think of. Pre-installed child car seats for traveling parents, uh, going to and from airports, and it was just a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Insane amount of energy. I'm telling you, the amount of energy it takes to start a company, forget about it, Joe.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're in 53 cities across
Wow.
America, and this is all we do. That's all we
That's
do.
wonderful.
Airport transportation to and from airports. And we say to the parents, ditch the car seats when you're flying with a baby.
Yeah. That's wonderful, man. So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream?
Well, forget about it. I was into sports. I wanted to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was into sports.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't think about it in the third grade. In third grade, I don't know, maybe a policeman or a fireman at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So how did you develop this business acumen? How did you develop this drive? What were the seeds that were planted that evolved into you having a very successful enterprise right now?
Uh, I've always had that entrepreneurial bug. After college, I got a corporate job for a few months, and I just quit and said, you know what, I can do better, right? And after that, it was like the rest is history.
Yeah.
I haven't had a a corporate job since then, and I've been trying, hustling. So many failures, it's like countless. But you fall down 7 times, you get back up eight. Joe, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the journey, man. It's like, and every time you fall down, you scrape, you get yourself up. Your skin gets hard. You're not. It's like, you can see further. It's like, hey, I can do a lot better now. So it's like I always, equate it to like, hey, it's like climbing trees or climbing buildings. Sometimes, you can jump on a car, fall down. You say, okay, well, I could jump in a truck. You fall down from the top of the truck. You say, I could climb that 20-foot tree. You try to climb the tree. You fall down and say, you know what, man, I could climb that 3-story building. You climb that. You're like, no, man, I could climb that 5-story building, right? So every time you fall down, you start seeing higher and higher
Yep.
and start realizing that, hey, I can do a lot better. I can do a lot better. And before you know it, let's man, let's Burj Dubai. I can climb Burj Dubai. Why not? Right?
Yep.
If I fall down, so what? There's a saying, right? Whenever you're trying something great, it could be, even if you fail, it's like legendary,
Yeah.
right? uh think about it. So just just try to something great, and you'll get there. If you don't get there, trust me, you know you can shoot for the stars, but if you land on the moon, it's not a bad place to be.
Right. Absolutely. So, who's been a hero for you? Who's been that inspiration?
I've had so many,
Yeah.
so many, uh on all different levels. On the business side, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, um uh uh, on the sports side, so many athletes that I look up to. Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
uh, it's just so many. I've taken so many. Allen Iverson, one of my heroes. Uh, you just I've just taken so much from so many people, and what they've brought to life, because everybody has brought something.
Yeah.
And there was a saying, different eyes see different things.
Yeah.
So I've like learned from so much from so many people who have done great things.
So, if you could meet one of these people or anybody alive on the planet right now, spend some time with them that would really help you to give you an eye into what they're doing and ask some questions, who would it be?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. 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 That would be a trip. That would definitely be a trip.
Yeah, that's my hero.
So let me ask you this. What is it? What's the motivation for you every day to wake up to do the work that you do, to be high energy, to achieve, and to also evolve as a human being? What is that for you?
It's part of me. It's part of me, that challenge is just working, of creating something, working with smart people. We have great people working at Kidmoto. It's just working with smart people, helping them build their lives. Also, there's a lot of value in working with great people and helping them, get to where they want to be. It's just beautiful.
So you're taking a lot of stress and strain off of families to allow them to travel with peace. What's been one of the best pieces of feedback or fan letters that you've gotten from what you're doing?
Uh, it, I never thought this existed in the lifesaver. I think that someone left that in a comment. Uh, it it's knowing that I have created something that not even Uber has really functionally done, and they're the giant. And I started with like probably 500 or 600 bucks, so I've made something work which just seemed impossible. Uh, it seemed impossible, and even the people in our industry laughed at me. They all laughed. Oh, come on, child car seats, forget about it. You're dreaming. So being able to provide a great product for the consumer base, and it's beautiful just to listen to the customers say, hey, this is a lifesaver, and I always say, we're not Blue Apron, right? And we're, like I don't even know who uses Blue Apron, but they're publicly listed, right? So, it's a product that provides value for the consumer base. Love it.
So what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Live your life like a business.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about what your idea? I remember, and I'm trying to wrap my head around entrepreneurs because there's a different acumen that goes into that I don't possess. But I remember at one point someone said, if you go into this whole thing thinking I'm just going to make as much money as I can, you're missing the point. But if you go into it solving a problem, that's the key. And that's what you did.
Yeah, yeah. You solve the problem, and there's a lot of value to that. There's a lot of value to because uh, I'm ecstatic about working and doing and providing the service, right? And uh, I'm helping people. I'm providing value for a real consumer base, and there's it's value. I love it. I just it's and imagine again, like Uber is not doing it, right? So
Yeah.
if
Uh-huh.
they have $50 billion and they can't do it, and I did it, I'm like so I still don't have time to sit back down and think about like what I've created. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So in this long road to being a successful entrepreneur, I'm curious if you had a dream tonight and ran into the 18-year-old version of you, you can give that young version of you a piece of advice based on this life you've lived, the wisdom you've gained. What advice would you impart on that young version of you?
learning does not stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's you've heard it. It may sound cliche,
right.
but part of growth is constantly learning
Yeah.
and being able to learn new things. Or now it's AI, and now it's like we're learning new. There's so much new software out there to learn, to incorporate into the organization, and there's so much value to it. It's like so interesting to see how far we have come.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly has. So of everything that you've done with your life, everything that you've achieved, what are you the proudest of?
Uh, the, having being able to meet a lot of great friends from all over the world, because I just travel a lot, and being able to make friends to like understand people.
For
I
sure.
love being able to talk. I could meet somebody from like Astana, Kazakhstan, or Stockholm, or La Paz, Bolivia. We can just talk. We can just have a conversation. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mexico City. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing to understand the world and understand people. I'm very
What
proud of it. I like that.
So speaking of the world, what's been one of the most unexpectedly magical places you visited?
Unexpectedly magical places. Oh man, everywhere has value. Everywhere's uh uh, uh can I say New York City?
Absolutely. Yeah, are you kidding? It's
Yes, and yeah, I did it. I'm from New York, and I didn't realize how great New York was until I started driving a yellow taxi. And I've been here like almost all my life, right? And we have the best architecture, engineering, the greatest people, the greatest food ever. And I didn't even realize the greatness that I was living in until I started driving a taxi, and I started seeing. I,
wow.
I, I think I saw probably 0.01% of New York prior to driving a yellow cab.
Wow.
Isn't that
Uh,
crazy? And that's
that
just New
is
York City.
I remember in 95, my dad was born in Brooklyn and raised in Long Island, so I had family in Long Island. And we went down
Yes,
and did the London double-decker bus tour. It was fascinating.
yes.
Like the first triangle building, we went out and saw the Statue of Liberty and saw all the architecture and all the people. And it's like every movie montage from my childhood just completely was right in front of my face. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah, and that's probably just a little no midtown and downtown,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Imagine Brooklyn or Bensonhurst or
Ah,
Bay Ridge or just going out to Sheepshead Bay, forget about it. It's
crazy,
like,
crazy.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so at the end of the day, everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, everyone, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Oh my goodness. Uh, good question.
Thanks.
But now, uh, what, uh, it's a good question. Who do I think I am? I'm just I'm just I don't know, an entrepreneur.
I dig it.
You know, I don't know, I just a guy that likes food. How's that?
I like it. I love it. Let me ask you this. Having an adventurous spirit, if we get off this call, time machine pulls up, you can go anywhere in human history and see one event with your own eyes, or even a game, a sporting game, any kind of sport. You can see one game. Where are you going?
Uh, any time in life,
Yeah,
uh,
any time in
any
history,
game.
any game.
Uh, I
Let,
like
let
to
me.
see Mike Tyson fight.
Oh yeah. Which fight?
Uh, uh, it, I don't know. It, I don't, anyone.
Yeah, there. I mean, there were so many in the beginning when he was doing it. Let me tell you where I would be.
Holyfield.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be perfect. So I got to tell you, mine's New York centered. I was a huge Mets fan in '86 when I was a kid. If I could be in
Yeah,
the stadium when that ball went beneath Buckner's legs, I would lose my mind. Absolutely lose my mind to be there.
I grew up going to the stadium. Oh, it's like down like half a block, half a mile from me. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
And
I used to go there
that
like almost every day.
wow, that would be amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Um, in fact, I actually last year, Dwight Gooden came to town and he was my hero growing up. I love Doc. He was like my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
He came through and I met him and he was the coolest cat in the room, man. Absolutely
yeah.
cool. So,
Uh, yeah, yeah. The Mets down. I used to box like on the other side of the stadium, and
yeah.
with this police athletic league there. So, uh, the area like super well. It's every day I would morning and in the evening, training,
Yeah.
and yeah, I know the stadium really well.
I love it, man.
And
So
now
if
it's a
anyone,
shade, a city field.
yeah, right, exactly, yeah. So if anyone wants to get the app, learn more about you, reach out, any of the good business, where do they go?
So you could go to kidmoto.taxi, KIDMOTO dot TAXI, and you could download the Kidmoto app, and you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Nelson Nigel, and yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn. So
I love it. Nelson, this has been a joy, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
I
story, your
appreciate you.
exuberance. I love it.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Thank
Keep
you.
changing the world. Cheers, man.